Hi, I'm Alpina Singh, and welcome to Check Please, the show where regular people from all over Chicago recommend and review their favorite restaurants. So this is how the show works. Every week we have 3 guests. Each recommends his or her favorite spot, and the other 2 go to check them out to see what they think. Editorial coordinator Sean Flynn says he's got the scoop on an amazing restaurant that's putting a modern twist on authentic Indian fare. Sean Flynn says if you're a fan of traditional Indian cuisine, then he's got some news for you. He says once you experience the vibrant flavors and hip, festive atmosphere at his Uptown pick, you will be sold at Marigold.
Well, we opened about 4 years ago in Uptown, and we've been here trying to serve contemporary Indian food. Our core tenets of our menu and our approach is fresh ingredients and quality.
Our servers are very knowledgeable. They'll walk them through the menu. The first thing they talk about is your spice tolerance, because there's different levels of that. Heavy vegetarian, or if you like lamb or chicken.
Authenticity factor comes from the family recipes. If you are used to eating Indian or certain type of dishes, you will find those here. Chicken tikka, mirth makhani butter chicken. They are based on authentic recipes, but something you haven't tried before.
I want everyone that leaves Marigold to say, you know what, we had a great meal, it was modern, it was fresh, it was unique, it was a different approach, and it was great food.
So Sean, you say that Marigold puts a great spin on Indian food. Tell us why you chose it.
Well, I've been a fan of Indian food. I got introduced to it when I was a teenager. I had a lot of friends who were of Indian descent, and we'd go out to eat out in the suburbs. So as I got older and was experimenting with other sorts of cuisine and getting more upscale, urban, I hate to use the word fancy, but fancy preparation and presentation, I felt like I really wasn't finding that when I'd go down to like Devon Avenue and get a lot of the same things that I've been getting for 5, 10, 15 years. So when Marigold came along, I felt like it was taking a lot of the concepts of modern, urban Chicago cuisine and bringing them to Indian cooking and Indian cuisine for the first time.
Tell me that you've had pretty much everything on the menu, but what are your absolute favorites?
For starters, I love the chicken tikka. It's creamy, it's rich, it melts in your mouth when you take it off the skewer. I love the lamb vindaloo. I think I love the feeling of when the heat just kind of like blows right through you, like whoosh. I like for lunch, like they have the little naan-wiches that they sell there, which I think is a great idea.
It is a fun idea.
Take these things, take the lamb vindaloo, take some of the tandoori chicken, and just put it in a little naan pocket. Nice, fast lunch, light.
Sarah, you had been to Marigold a while ago. They've been open for a little over 4 years now. But you said that you didn't find it memorable last time, so it must not be good. But they changed your mind once again this time.
Yeah, I mean, when it came up as a place to go, I was like, oh, I've been there, but I don't really remember, so it must not be that good. But as soon as I started eating the food, I was totally sold that it was much better than I had thought. But I was very excited by the flavors. I thought everything was plenty spicy without being overly hot. The samosas were delicious, and I feel like that would be an easy place for them to fail and to make them not delicate enough or to make them not flavorful enough, and they were really great, and everything else had a little bit of interestingness to it, which I don't think is a word, but was also just as flavorful and spicy as I wanted it to be. It was very good, and I think we'll go back again now that I've been there a second time. So
glad you got converted.
I did get converted, I think.
Michael, you a big fan of Indian food?
So I am. So the challenging part about Indian food is, of my friends, I'm the most aggressive eater, you know, and the hard thing was when I brought this up to people, I'm like, I need people to come with me. It's going to be on Check Please. We know it's got to be a great restaurant, you know. And literally, of 8 people, it whittled down to a group of 3 or 4 of us.
Now, why is that, do you think?
I think people are scared of big flavored food. I think people are scared of things that aren't in their usual palate. But literally, 1 billion people a day are eating this. It has to be good.
And they're still alive.
Exactly, and they're loving it. They're loving it, you know?
Thriving.
Growing up in Evanston, being so close to Devon, we had Indian food since I can remember going out to eat. And none of us are of any Indian descent or anything, but it's been a very big part of the way that we eat, and our family always goes out for Indian when we go out together. So it's funny to hear that it would be something unusual for anybody, that it's not, that it would be a challenge to eat. So I've never really...
I grew up with garlic being a strong spice, so...
Okay.
You know, so you think about that. So to answer your question directly, yeah, I thought Marigold was great. I thought the food was absolutely spot on. I thought the flavors were big. I thought You know, the spicy foods were really spicy, which is something I like. And I thought that the quality of the ingredients, the quality of the ambiance overall, I just thought it was really good. There are places you could go that may be more authentic per se, but I think if you want an upscale or a fancier type of restaurant, I think Marigold nails it all around.
It's hard to find Indian and a martini in the same place. And I think that was a nice...
Great point. Yeah, absolutely.
What about dessert? Maybe some good dessert?
I had dessert, and I'm very picky about desserts. And we ordered the Kama Sutra cake.
Very appropriate for your...
Very appropriate
yes.
for my lifestyle. Also, I was like, even me, I will pay exorbitant amount for pastries. I was like, okay, this is expensive. This is a really expensive piece of cake. It better be freaking delicious. And it was basically just this fudgy, lovely goodness. It was really good. The other dessert we got, which was their ice cream, was a little too hard. It did not, you couldn't eat it. I felt like I had to pick it up with my hands and suck on it, which is not appropriate. But I think it was just too hard. But besides that, the flavor was good. So
I love the cake because it's got just that little bit of spice to it, again, along with the sweetness. So you're so used to eating chocolate cake, and it's just cloying. I mean, it can be cloying, and it's just overwhelmingly chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. But this, when you hit that little bit of spice note in there, your tongue is like, ooh, well, hello.
Yeah.
You know what's actually absolutely superb was my friend ordered the trailer. I'm like, look, you could have all the creme brulee stuff. Just let me have the ginger crust on the top,
I
you
just
know?
get about 5 crusts.
It was very good. It was absolutely superb.
All right, Sean, you pick Marigold. Sum it up for us.
It is Indian food in a hip urban environment that will just blow you away.
All right. Michael?
Make new friends that eat Indian food and take them with you to Marigold because it's worth going to. It's that good.
All right, Sarah.
I'll say I was wrong. The first time I went there, I am sold that Marigold is a great place for delicious, feisty Indian food in a little bit of a fancier environment.
All right, well, you can try the tandoori and more at Marigold, 4832 North Broadway, 773-293-4653. They're open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is $25. Finally, we stopped in at Marigold on Broadway. Sean recommends it for Indian food in a hip urban environment that will blow you away. Michael thought it was so good that it's worth making new friends that'll eat Indian food. Sarah says she's sold on the delicious and feisty Indian fare and fancier environment. Well, we've had just a wonderful time this week, and I'd like to thank my guests, Michael Pollack, Sarah Dysock, and Sean Flynn.
For more information about the restaurants featured on Check Please, go to WTTW.com/checkplease.